Hey, what's up guys? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com or CrackedFemaleCode.com. Okay, I'm going to give a little intro. Number one, these videos I'm showing you now are just videos from a long time ago that have the core pieces of what's going on. Number two, this is a male empowerment course. The tools that I'm going to teach you in this course will empower you in dating and relationships. Now the word empowerment, I didn't ever really like that. It's going to put power in your hands for dating, relationships, and sex. And all of this will transfer over into your daily life, your social life, including business and sales. So what's my point in saying all this? There's a hidden form of power that I'm going to put into your hands that you can use in any and every area of life. And guess what's going to happen when it comes to dating and relationships? The power is going to switch into your side, okay? There's going to be I can't think of the right word right now, but it's going to be a power flip basically. This is something that women absolutely need and must have from a man in a relationship. If she can find a man that can do this, it will blow her mind and she will be a lot happier and she will be much more willing to do the things that you like. Because what a woman needs, she can't get from anybody else, because men are not born with this knowledge. We are not hardwired neurologically in a way that we could even understand it, let alone know how to do it. I will teach this to you. You will have to practice it. I will condition this into your unconscious mind using NLP, hypnosis, and energy healing techniques that I learned over the years. This is going to shift your life. Mike Colleen again. Today we're going to go over some actual body language skills. I'm going to teach you some specific things to do and not to do when it comes to your body movement and positioning. It is really important, okay? All right, let me kind of back up a little bit. This is where I want to start off with. I really want you to understand this. Remember, men are visual and women are auditory. We are attracted differently, we are turned on differently, and we receive love differently. So right now this is the attraction phase. See, the thing is, men are visual, so they really think it's about how good they look, how their haircut is, or their car, or what they spend. As I said before, that's not it at all. This is what I want to express. When you know how to meet a girl, how to approach a girl, there's actually a way to approach a girl that makes her feel very safe and comfortable with you. The male way of doing it terrifies. When I say terrify women, I am telling you, women have come to me and say, God, these guys are stalkers. Have you ever heard the word stalker? They mean that. They're not joking around. God, the natural, okay, here's why. Our mating system is in our fight and flight brain. That's the hunter brain. Your mating system is directly next to the part that hunts. So when you are attracted to a girl, you go into what's called linear. Your eyes get beady and small and they get narrow. And when you pop out of that and you watch into the guy, you're like, oh my God, he looks like a psycho. It's like, yeah, and he's your best friend. He's a normal guy. He's trying to be nice. I've had clients of mine go, yeah, I tried to pick up on a girl at the mall, and she ran off and called security, and they actually escorted me out of the building and told me never to come back. Seriously, guys. I've heard so many stories. I've seen comedy shows about it, because your mating system is right next to your hunter system in the fight or flight brain. It triggers that hunter mode, and this is a good segment to go into the part that we're going to talk about. Ariel and I were talking about, I said a lot of guys want to corner a girl, and that's what this whole course is, this segment's about. And I said, yeah, I've got her cornered. And what did you say, Ariel?
Like that's a good thing.
Yeah, he said like that's a good thing. The way men think is actually very cavemanish. Not caveman, it is caveman. We think in terms of hunter mode. I've got her cornered. Okay, cavemen, don't worry about it. We are going to teach you some actual caveman techniques that they used to do back then. And I'm going to teach you why it is hardwired into the female nervous system. It's literally hardwired into her DNA, and she cannot resist this. And this will not leave the female species for thousands of years, okay? So don't worry. We're going to teach you how to do what I call step into your power in the way men used to be. The modern male has been absolutely 100,000% brainwashed into not being natural, into not being who you normally are, And this is not your fault. This is society's fault. But we're going to change this, and we're going to wire you back to the way you're supposed to be. And this will trigger her mating system. I remember I have two clients that I can think of right now. Let's see, where's the notes for that? I had taught them to go into what's called peripheral vision, because when you go into your hunter mode, your forehead kind of scrunches together and your eyes get very narrow, like you're hunting like a target, like a bead, and you get narrow, and you're missing her body language. A guy who learns how to open his vision up and go into peripheral vision and what I call being internal, suddenly it makes her want to come to you. There's actually a secret. Mother Nature hid it from us, actually, and I mean that. Mother Nature hid some very powerful secrets that will literally sexually draw women to you and attract women to you. And you have to learn how to go internal, and it's pretty hard, actually, unless you've been trained in esoteric trainings for a good 10, 15 years. I will teach this to you in a matter of sessions, 6, 7, 8 sessions. And then you practice it, and the better you get at it, the easier it is to draw women to you. Or you can be like most of these guys, they're pickup artists, right? Oh, I've got the opener, I've got this opener, I've got this gambit, and all these things that they do. They're actually pushing women away. I have worked with, in the last 2 years alone, 20 clients who have mastered the game of pickup, from openers to what to say, to the negs, to what not to say. And they go, but I can't pick up on women, and I don't know why. Because they're using what's called push energy, and it's pushing women away. Now, some of the masters get this, but they're not conscious of it. So I'm gonna go into it right. Well, now there's one more thing I want to say. First of all, I want to share a little bit with you, because guys are visual, so thinking, oh, you're a good-looking guy. I'm only 5'8". I'm not very tall. They're like, well, it's all about looks. It's looks for you, and that's the way you think as a male, and that's normal. Women, it's all about emotions created through communication, and my entire course will teach you how to do that, and it's very easy. Remember, her mating system is directly connected to her right brain's communication center. Communication, a hidden right brain language, is what turns women on, and that's one core piece of what I'm going to teach you to do. With that alone, it will not turn her on. You have to learn how to be internal and expansive. There's a couple key pieces you have to put together. Once you learn how to do it, it will directly trigger her mating system, and she literally cannot deny it. Number 1, the male mating system is connected to his eyes through the linear left brain logical system. The left brain is the male brain, the right brain is the female brain. So the reason why you think it's about buying flowers, paying for dinner, and buying her gifts is because you are an external visual being. Your mating system is connected to your external system. Her mating system is connected to the right brain, which is the internal brain. It's connected to the internal communication center and processor. Once you understand this, you will trigger her mating system. So here's what we men and women do. We project who we are onto the opposite sex. So what do men do? We try to turn her on the way that we are turned on unconsciously. And this is what the pickup artist courses are teaching you. What does she do? She tries to use communication and use these vague and abstract right brain words that literally drive you nuts and you can't stand it. It doesn't turn you on. Most men will say, why do you talk so much? Let's just have sex. Because you are visually turned on. Once you look at her body, she swivels her hips, she flips her hair, she smiles at you, bats her eyes, which is all visual stimulus. You get sexually turned on and you're ready to go. But she's not. Easy. Now let's go back to either you know how to do it or you don't. So the guys who don't know how to do it think, oh, it's about money, it's about cars. And I'm telling you right now, guys, I drive a Honda Del Sol. It's a 1995 car. I'm not rich. I live in a small one-bedroom apartment. There are some key things. I'm going to introduce you to some today about how to meet women. Now, to approach women, as I said before, which I will teach you very in-depth in my course, you need to go into peripheral vision. Now, some guys think peripheral vision are like right here. It's like, no, it's actually body peripheral. It's not just, it's visual, auditory, and what's called kinesthetic. When you learn how to open up to all three, women literally, they feel very comforted. They feel very grounded. And that's a key word, which I'll explain in my course. So here's what I'm going to tell you this. You don't want to block a woman. You don't want to close a woman off. You want to give her open space. Now, I expressed this to a couple of my clients, and two clients in particular. I'm not going to use their names. They heard me. I repeated it to them. I taught it to them. I took one guy, we went to the farmer's market, and he got this girl that was literally in this corner thing, there was a pole here, a pole there, and the wall there, and the only way out was right here. So he looks at it, he goes, oh, I got this one cornered. He literally said, I got her cornered. That's the whole hunter system next to the mating system getting fired off. You need to learn how to stay out of that, which I will teach you in my course. And it'll make you feel very comfortable around women. So he walks up to her and he stands in the entryway, the only exit. It was this very narrow thing. And she got scared. Now here's what she did. I want you to watch closely. Now when men are in narrow vision, they don't see these things. She crossed her arms. And then after he didn't move, she turned her body like this. And then she leaned away. That's 3 major back off signs. Back off, back off, back off. And I physically grabbed his arm and said, hey, Roger, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he threw my arm off like, she's mine. And I'm like, Roger, dude, you're scaring her. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm not scaring her. Her friend, which was a very aggressive, bigger woman, came over and just literally pushed him away. Said, hey, you're scaring us. What are you talking about? And he goes, oh, women are crazy. I'm like, no, women aren't crazy. What you just did was you trapped her like an animal, like a trapped animal. You don't want to do that. So here's the question. Well, what do you do? It's so simple, it's not even funny. Let's say there's a corner or an alleyway or whatever. You don't want to be head on with her, like kind of like this. You don't want to be head on. If you're the woman, I want to be like this. I want to talk to you like this, and you let the energy flow through, or her space. That way she feels like she has an escape route. See, if you have to rely on the old-fashioned way of trapping women or grabbing them in a club, you are not in the modern world. Maybe 150 years ago, maybe 2,000 years ago that might have worked, but it doesn't work anymore. So it's a very basic thing, is you don't want to have this kind of body language. You want to have an open body language like this. And you don't point at women like that. How does that feel? You want to do open gestures like this. Now, these are just a couple keys that you can learn how to do, and I will go much more in depth in my course on how to do more of this. So, okay, I'll give you another example. Another client of mine, we're at a bookstore, and I was actually working on this very thing, but he saw a woman, and we walked over there, and I opened the conversation, and let's say she was there. Well, I was like this the whole time, and I actually watched my body language. I leaned away. I had open body language instead of blocked in. So open and lean away just a little bit, like an inch or two, just casual. And he walks up and he blocks her. He gets like this. And the minute he does this, she kind of freezes up like this. And I go, Alfonso. And he literally pushed me. I'm like, Alfonso, dude, back off, back off. And she literally bolted. She bolted out. So here's what you want to do. If you come into a bookstore and there's, you know how you have those aisles where it's only this wide, it's not very narrow. Well, you don't want to walk right up to her. You want to back off and give her plenty of space, and you want to be open, okay? Now, if she gives you the signal to come in, actually, I wouldn't even do that. Leave your body language open, leave her space to go out, okay? And then what I would do is allow her to come to you. And if you do this lean away thing as you're open, like this, she'll come to you. It works every time if you do it right, but you can't be linear with your eyes. You've got to be peripheral, internal. You've got to have an open body language, and you've got to be leaning back a little bit. It'll make her feel very safe. It'll make her feel very comfortable. That's the way you approach a woman. Guys, that's only one tip, and I've got a lot more. Remember, this course is not about tips. It's about understanding. Thank you.